Hi everyone, I am Neha. I am a psychologist working with Rangara Hospital, Delhi. I look after all the mental health disorders and look after counseling and CBTs and other relevant things. So thank you for inviting me here. Thanks to have me here for the talk, and which is a very nice topic to talk about it because it's mostly untouched topic, especially in the Indian app on the Indian scenario, that where when we talk about mental health for the cancer patient, also nobody is actually majorly concerned for their mental health, or probably not. Nobody would be the wrong question or wrong answer. The right thing is there is very less people who are aware of the mental health of the person who's undergoing from cancer, which is anyway a bad disease. And the name only utterly says something, has a bad meaning, and the person, when they hear about the word cancer, the only thing they think about is they're going to die, or they're going to have a long-term problems, and their life is not all same. So today we are touching one of the cancer, which is breast cancer, majorly seen in the women's, but there are males also who have undergone the such thing and have got their treatment done for the breast cancer. So the primarily area in India, in Indian scenario, what happens, everyone becomes a psychologist, a counselor, a person who takes their mental health very prioritizingly, that we'll counsel the patient, and हम समझा देंगे उसको is the commonest thing with what we hear from the attendant of a cancer patient. And everybody, so there is one positive part also in Indian population, that everybody come accumulatively and sit for the help. So it is not that people will leave them alone, or nobody will come to them, or they will be like in Western country, everybody is busy and they are into their own life and nobody has time. But in India, actually, people come forward and give social support. So if there is pros of being into this religious or such culture, there is cons also, which where the mental health goes on the toes. Even the patient doesn't understand that what exactly they will go through, or they are scared just because they get to know the name of the thing, which is cancer. They get really worried about it. I've been asked a lot of time the question that what are the harmful effects of the patient of breast cancer, especially the women's goes through. So it's something that where they have the womanhood is associated with beauty in all the manners. So if it is womanhood, it associates with beauty. They have to look pretty on the purposes. They have to, they make sure that they're perfect when they're going out, or they're well dressed. The first thing which comes to them is, in some of the cases, their breast get removed due to saving their life in general. And in the some of the cases, they definitely, most of the cases, they lose their hairs, which is the primary part of a woman to be beautiful, and they feel less confident due to the same thing. So when a cancer specialist, a doctor, tells them to we need to send you to a therapist or a counselor, they themselves is reluctant to going. It's like, मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ है, मैं ठीक हूँ, मुझे इसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं करनी है. That is the area where they are actually needing some help. The self acceptance does not come within a while. It takes them months or years to accept themselves, that they've lost one part of their body which completes their womanhood. So when a question comes directly on their identity, that my womanhood is on question, because breast is one of the primary thing what we see in a woman to fulfill it, and it is related to their process of giving birth again, and it is associated with a lot of their prestige issues or the image issues in general. So they definitely undergo the self-image crisis. They have to get ready in a different way for some months until they get their hair back. They usually get it right after they actually finish their treatment. They get it, but until the duration they are not having hair, so they don't find themselves beautiful. They try to cover it up. The family always try to cover it up with something or the other thing, but what exactly goes through under them. It takes months to accept themselves in a way where they have to, dress themselves in a different way. The next question which comes to quite often to me is how family is suffered. So that is one of the area where a lot of researches has been already done in India, other country across globe. The mental health of the family members of breast cancer patients. Yes, it brings a lot of emotional pressure, it brings a lot of physical pressure, plus the financial pressure. This treatment cost quite big. Then you are affected to go hospital every now and then. There is doctors who's calling you, there's chemo sections, there's surgery, there is radiation if doctor suggests. This all thing have a pressure on their overall life. So work life is affected, personal life is affected, and if it is a husband, definitely the wife is broken emotionally in the initial time, probably later also. So that area is completely affected, and which cost a lot of things. The main trouble comes to those who does not have financial sufficiency to hold on this treatment. So trouble gets more to them when they have to struggle to the multiple hospital, government, private, look for the rates, and everything has to be calculated, and there is diet. So equally, what the patient feels, the same an attendant goes through. It is just patient considered to be a patient, and he is accepted to be sad and frustrated and irritated. But with the family, with the attendant, it is not even acceptable on a level that where they can feel actually, I'm frustrated or irritated, because nothing will going to help them. Probably they end up talking to their friends, families. I suggest them always, if a patient of cancer attendant comes to me, I always suggest them, you need to really take out time and talk about yourself to the counselor. Is the first person. If you are seeing some symptoms in you, which is sadness, crying, irritability, definitely a mental health expert. But there are uncertainty about that, you will visit them. You can start writing a diary to understand what exactly is going on, and bring out things on pen and paper. If you don't want to share it, tear it, but at least do it, because we know that you are also undergoing a lot which you did not want ever. Definitely nobody want, but that's a process you actually fell into, and you are into it. So in India, if I talk about the role of the family and the friends, so we live, as I already said, we live in a culture where people are quite socially inbuilt to each other. They are connected to each other. So the family therapy happens in themselves. They actually go forward, look for things, get things done, make sure the patient eats well, they're emotionally available mostly. So yes, the family and the friends plays a very important role when it comes to the family of a cancer survivor, or any kind of cancer survivor. But they actually undergo a lot of pressure. I would say that they have performance all the time. The patient might need something, the patient is up to something, and they are on the toss most of their time. So these are some of the areas where we talk about attendance also. So if I talk about coping mechanism for the patient, so kindly join support groups. We are available, like they are available quite easily with most of the hospitals and the centers which are treating for the breast cancer. So you need to basically join support group. Try to be in touch with the people who have undergone the journey of this and have come out of positively. Do not try to take negative information from internet, because internet is full of negative informations for you. So if at all you find something related to cancer, they will definitely take you to a death, that cancer means death, whereas the things are now different. There are multiple kind of treatments available which can save you if you are on a better stage. So try not to become your own doctor, and just look for a mental health expert if at all you have questions which are persistent thoughts, sadness, crying, and uncertainty for life. Definitely there are mental health experts also, and the 80% or 70% questions will be answered by your oncologist, your cancer specialist, your doctor. So some things needs to be done. So there are some tips I would like to give. The start is, do not be around the toxic people in this time, because you're already coating a lot of negativity in you, and more negativity is going to cause you a lot of stress. Second, if you feel that you want to talk, you can definitely ask someone to talk to you. It's not, if it is not possible to speak to a therapist most of the time, you can definitely speak to the other people in life. Then there is third thing what you can do is to start writing diary. If you don't want to feel talking to somebody like this, definitely start writing diary. Try to follow motivational people to talk to. Like, you may have friends who are positive, you may have family members who are positive. If not, just do not refer internet for the negative information, that what happens in cancer, what is there in the cancer, because internet will never give you a right answer, and the right answer only will be coming to you by your oncologist, your cancer specialist. This is the area where I would definitely want you to work upon if you are not seeing a psychologist. Then you can start doing some of the recreative activities to cope out of the process of this. So there is painting, art, then there is whatever, there is cooking, anything you like, anything which is of your area, reading about other things, autobiographies of people. Watching movies is a very good time. You can watch movies during the time of your 2 chemos. You actually get some time when you're free, when you're relaxed, but you can't go anywhere, and you, because of definitely the fear of infection, you are not allowed to go to meet people. So at that time you can definitely do Netflixing. I totally understand there's a lot of burden of medications all the time and you feel toxic, but this is a process we have to undergo, and one day you will be coming out of it successfully and living a life even better than what you had, because the tough experience doesn't come to everyone. If it comes to you, they are teaching you something in a better way. So these are the some of the points which are there to cope yourself better. So stigmas, if I talk about stigmas, that what stigma people do suffer from right after recovery is actually none. They are happy that they are gone out of it, but there is always a fear in their mind. What if the cancer comes back? You know, it's people in the society, the doctors also sometimes come and tell you, you're cured now, but you have to be under observation for this duration, and probably if you read it somewhere. See, if I talk about cancer may can come again, there is uncertainty to everything. There is uncertainty to life all the time, everywhere. So till how long we will be scared of it? I don't know what will happen in next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You don't know what is going to happen. At least cancer is an opportunity where you're allowed to do some of the residual work you wanted to do. Cancer is, if it is a heart attack, it doesn't let you think of anything, right, and you are gone. If it is a road accident, you are gone. If it is anything which is just acute, there is no certainty to anything in this world. So why should we live in danger and the fear of something bad is going to happen, or definitely cancer will come back? See, if it is come back, there is treatment to it. There is a process to come out of the process. But if you will focusing continuously on that it will come back, you are attracting negative energies against you. So definitely, if it has to come back, you cannot do anything about it, but you can at least stay positive, because there are no studies done that stress actually causes more cancerous things. So if I talk to the people, I've seen a lot of patients where people have said that I was under so much of stress all my life, and somebody disturbed me, my office, my in-laws, my family, my kids, and my husband, anybody who has disturbed me. Every patient, most of the patient with breast cancer always has seen with the history of some stress. There cannot be any study, there is no study telling the prevalence of the breast cancer in the Indian women's. What's mostly seen, it is associated with stress. So the more stress you take, the more negativity you are calling yourself. So be positive that if it is coming back, there is a process to it. We can heal it with the right medications available, with the right things available. But please stop being negative all the time that it will definitely come back. There is no certainty to anything in this world that whether it will come back or not. It may not come back, but you're always scared of it, and then you're not enjoying yourself what has or which should be the target right after the treatment you have. So you don't know the process as well. So be happy. See, this is bad that you have got this diagnosis. This is definitely, but I don't want to be diplomatic and be delusionally happy that oh, it's okay, it happens, fine. I know it is sad, but are we really going to live with this sadness for long years? Does it deserve this much of our attention? I think you have to ask yourself a question, that do I deserve to be this disturbed? No, you have to be happy with yourself first. Again, uncertainty is everywhere, in everything. You will see people dying for very silly reasons. So at least whatever you have, live nicely. You cannot control the universe, you cannot control the things happening around you. If something has to happen, it will, but can we be positive about what we feel about ourselves, and we feel good about ourselves? I know body images come forward, and then there is a different way you will get dressed, but this becomes part of journey. If you are happy, if you are self-satisfied, I would like to give an opinion to you in general. So people usually do not want to talk about the therapist during the process because they're already undergoing a lot of things, and they say nahi, naya doctor ke paas nahi jana. But a therapist is not a doctor. Can be a friend to you, where you can tell about everything which comes to your mind and which is troubling you, and you can talk about it. So therapist can be a co-partner in your treatment where you're undergoing some stress. It's a co-partner which is telling you to how to sail through, how to cope, how to use coping mechanisms step by step to come out of the trouble you're right now in. So I take enough from you now with this chat. I hope I've left a lot of answers to which were there in the questions which were there in your mind. I've left good answers to it, and I would definitely want you to look forward